March is Fraud Prevention Month. It's an annual campaign educating Canadians on how to recognize, reject, and report fraud. This year's theme is 20 years of fighting fraud from then to now. It's the evolution over the years from telemarketing and mail to social media and artificial intelligence. According to the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre, less than 5% of fraud victims report their experience to law enforcement agencies in Canada. Detective Constable Joshua Rabb from Waterloo Regional Police Service works in the fraud unit.
I always say I'd rather spend 5 minutes on the phone with somebody than months later investigating. So we as the police operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We can be called at any time, and we can verify the information. If somebody actually is in trouble, we can verify that.
Police and fraud prevention experts continue to warn Canadians to be vigilant as fraudsters target seniors with the grandparent scam. In 2023, the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre reports Canadians lost more than $11 million to the scam. Southwestern Ontario, including Waterloo Region, isn't immune to this scam. Police say investigators into the grandparent scam incidents is ongoing. Fraudsters behind the grandparent scam are trying to scare their victims into sending large amounts of money and are hoping that their targets won't reach out for help.
Now, the other important thing to remember is that with us as the police, Canada Border Services, the RCMP, we will never try and make people feel scared or threatened over the phone. And legitimate agencies will not do that either. A lot of these fraudsters, will try and make people feel scared and threatened to try and get them to act without thinking. So again, looking at that contact and examining it as a whole, am I being made to feel scared? Am I threatened? Am I made to feel a specific way in this contact? That's something important to think about. When they want you to act fast and they want you to act now, they don't want you to think about what's happening. They don't want you to examine the contact you've had. They don't want you to talk to anybody else. Oftentimes they'll get you to go to the bank to take out money and they'll give you a cover story to tell the bank. We as the police don't accept money for those types of things. And so that's why I always tell people, look, contact the police, contact that legitimate agency yourself and fact check that information, because oftentimes they'll say, no, we don't accept money for that type of thing. And again, they'll tell people, don't talk to anybody, don't do this, right? And oftentimes they're contacting you over the phone or through internet, right? Because they're not local police, or they're not associated with us as the local police at all. If you were to have contact with us, we'd immediately tell you that it's a scam. So they want everything to take place over the phone or through the internet. They don't want things to take place face to face. Circling back to the COVID and the pandemic that we've had, so much of what we do is not face to face anymore. So even with all these other types of scams, you're not actually going into the bank anymore. You're doing online banking. I tell people, go into the bank. Don't just trust that you've got contact from the bank who says, oh, we're accusing you of money laundering, or your bank account's been compromised. Physically go into the bank and talk to somebody there, and that can be a way to avoid fraud.
Find out how to protect yourself. Visit Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre's website at antifraudcentre.ca. You will find a list of scams from A to Z. Carla Fitzsimmons, Your Region This Week, Cambridge.